Well, hello, and if you've stumbled upon this channel by accident or whatever magic YouTube decides to throw on your screen, welcome. And yeah, I'm now going to introduce the Bushwhacker model. It's been a long time coming, quite simply because I've wanted to test out various different design aspects. I have got two other failures before this, and I'll just run into that. Primarily, the first failure was the actual tip. I've got a 4-inch copper tip. Now, my standard copper tip, if I'll put this in comparison, as you can see, is really obviously small. It's usually a bit longer, but in any case, you can see the size difference. This carries a lot of mass into the area that you're trying to bushwhack through. It's not going to cut it. It is a blunt force trauma type situation. You're putting into the vegetation, and it basically smashes its way through. Under no illusion, it's not cutting its way through. Well, the problems I ran into with the tip was, quite simply, I went for a full 6 inches on my original concept. I thought the extra mass would do its job better, but unfortunately what happens is when you're swinging it, you do feel that mass and it becomes tiring, and when you're just hiking, it's just too much weight. I've reduced it to 4 inches, and that allows you to do, a reasonable amount of hiking with it. But ultimately this is aimed at bushwhacking trails, and if you're going into areas you're trying to break trails. It's not designed for multi-day hiking or long distance or speed hiking. It is simply, even at 4 inches, too heavy a tip. But as you would have seen in the opening to this video, it does still carry enough mass to break through rotten branches, go through brambles, nettles, bracken, and it does its job. So yeah, I've had a failure with this on the initial one. I had to bring it down in size. But now I've found a happy medium for what I'm designing it for. Also, my first one, I tried to splay it out and have like a thicker gauge wood that comes down, and then I usually splay it down with a block plane to take it down into the tip. I then yet again found I was going too heavy on the gauge of wood for any meaningful hiking. Right then, coming up to the handle, you will see I've actually got some, not checkering, I've got some hand grip that's been carved into the actual wood. Now, another failure, I put it too far down. So if you can imagine swinging it like that, you lose a lot of momentum and impetus to hit the actual brush. I did learn very quickly that it had to be back up here. You still need enough room at the back to hold the back of the handle, which I've got, and the grip is on this one for when you swing it through the arc, and that allows me to gain the most grip and forward direction of the actual bushwhacking stick. Now, I also did learn you need to be a couple inches shorter than your usual hiking stick, quite simply because when you're actually swinging this, you don't want something too long, because you're inadvertently catching bits of brush, nettles, brambles that you're not trying to push through. So, all those features and issues I ran into has led me to this point and this particular stick as it is. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel, as they say. It is just a stick, but it's those features which I wanted to work out which would be the best suited for a stick, primarily for people hiking through footpaths in the spring and summer that get totally overgrown with nettles, bracken and light vegetation. You're not going to be breaking down trees or anything like that. It's not designed for that. And anything of a very light gauge, I should imagine anything up to about that twig wise, this will cope with it, just to help yourself get through those trails. But yeah, this will be appearing on my stall. It shan't be it's not ever going to be my primary model, quite simply because, you know, most people won't have a core for it. But I do now have a design which I can now implement, and I'm happy with, and can legitimately say this is a good, you know, trail breaking stick, and will allow you to do some moderate hiking. I mean, I've just come back with the dog, doing a bit of a dog walk at the moment, and you know, after about 5-6 miles, you know, even myself, I'm thinking I would prefer one of my smaller tips, because quite simply, even in your hand, when you're walking and you've got the motion going, you can feel that weight. So, you know, it is what it is, you know, a bushwhacking model stick. It's not a full-on multi-day hiking stick or a long-distance hiking stick, as I've said. So, I hope you quite enjoyed this very short video. It's just basically to showcase this particular hiking stick. Obviously, I will always put a woodland animal and my logo on it. The finish hasn't been finished too great on this one, quite simply because I'm still testing it out. But yeah, I like what I've got here, and yeah, I'm hoping any customer looking for something like this will appreciate the effort and time that went in to get it all together, so it becomes a sellable item to be a bushwhacking hiking stick. But yeah, this is Andy from Hidden Valley Footpaths. All the best, and I hope to catch you guys out on the trail.